So hello everybody, this is Giovanni Marchetti and I'm here with Vijay Tiwari. Vijay, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Vijay Tiwari. I'm a Principal Program Manager. I own the Windows 7 virtualization product and I'm from the Hyper-V team. So good to be here with you, Giovanni.
Thank you very much. So I've got a question just out of my curiosity and I suppose out of everybody else's as well. We've just announced support for Red Hat on Hyper-V. What exactly does that mean and why did we do it?
That's a great question, Giovanni. I mean, since the launch of Hyper-V, we've had over 600,000 downloads of Hyper-V product. We got a large set of customers using it. We got about 700 plus hardware platforms certified to run Hyper-V. We got our premium properties like Microsoft.com and TechNet actually running on Hyper-V. So it's pretty clear that we've got a very large customer demand for using the Hyper-V platform for virtualization. And as we have gone out and spoken to our customers, a fairly large number of them are actually running a heterogeneous environment where they want to run not only Windows servers as guests, but also Red Hat Linux virtual machines. And so we've heard this pretty clearly from the customers. And the step that we've taken recently is an agreement which allows Red Hat to certify that for us to certify that Red Hat can run successfully as a guest on the Hyper-V platform. And correspondingly, it allows Red Hat to certify that Windows Server actually runs as a guest successfully on their virtualization platform. So it's actually a reciprocal kind of agreement, if you will. We have a program called the Server Virtualization and Validation Program, which basically allows a third party who is selling a virtualization platform to enroll in it, run a series of tests, and then validate that their virtual platform is something that Microsoft will support by certifying that Windows can run on that platform. Correspondingly, they actually have a Red Hat hardware certification program, of which we have become a part of, which allows us to certify that, or rather allows Red Hat to certify that Microsoft operating systems or Microsoft virtualization platform will allow Red Hat to run as a guest there. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and the question that comes to mind now is let's suppose that I virtualize Red Hat on Hyper-V, and for some reason I have a few issues with that.
Sure.
Can I call my Microsoft Premier support line and say, hey, Red Hat on Hyper-V doesn't work, or should I call Red Hat?
You can actually, it'll work both ways. You can call either. That's a part of signing up for the certification program. You can call either of your partners, and we'll be able to appropriately handle the issue that crops up as a result of this.
Great, thank you very much. So I'm sure that our customers will be happier with that. So are we planning to do anything more? So are we planning to produce any specialized drivers like we did for SUSE Linux, or just accept that the Red Hat will run in emulated mode on Hyper-V?
That's a great question. As a first start, we will first validate that the Red Hat platform runs on emulated devices. But our goal is to obviously get certification even for our integration components, as we call them. We have Linux integration components that run with SUSE Linux, and we've also got a version of the integration components that work with Red Hat. And our goal is to absolutely get certification for that particular Red Hat platform running our integration components on the Hyper-V platform.
Is there a time frame in mind that you can share?
I don't have a concrete time frame specifically in the context of the ICs, but certainly in the context of the validation for the bare platform itself, we are targeting the second half of this calendar year. That's okay. The second half of this calendar year 09.
Thank you very much. So next step is I want to see it in action. So
sure.
What I'm going to do is turn off the camera for a minute and come round.
Sure.
Here we go. Let's see it in action.
Giovanni, this is a great opportunity for me. I'm really excited to be able to show this to you. As you can see, I've actually got a 2-node cluster here. And believe it or not, even though our first validation and certification will happen on WS08, Windows Server 08, I am actually running this right now on Windows Server 08 R2 Beta, and we are sort of even going the step forward to make sure that it works everywhere. So I've got a 2-node cluster that's set up here. I've actually got Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5.2 running here. I can double click on this, and so there we have Red Hat Linux. It's an interesting opportunity for me to demonstrate Linux running here. So that's the Red Hat Linux kernel version.
Okay, and for those that don't believe it, I'm going to zoom it
Oh yeah,
to the
please.
maximum
Yeah.
and show you
Right.
what Unai Manasai says.
Yeah.
It says GNU Linux. There you go.
Right.
And 2008.
Yes, I'm actually running this on 2008 R2.
Okay.
And
Great.
I'm actually running this with the integration components, although that's not how we will initially validate it.
Mhm.
Hardware validation program, but just to give you an indication that this is actually running with the integration components right now.
Good. What sort of performance degradation can we expect with and without integration components?
Well, that's a good question once again, and with the integration components, we've done a large number of optimizations which allow the data transfer between the guest and the network, for example, and the guest and the storage subsystem, for example. So there are significant enhancements when you actually go to the integration components, and varies from operating system to operating system, but it is very substantial. And that's why we do want to make sure that we, get the eventual validation and certification even for the Linux Red Hat with the integration components.
Okay, and since you're showing it on a 2-node cluster, I'm going to have to ask it. Will we support live migration of Red Hat virtual machines too?
I couldn't wait for you to ask me that, and so I'm going to show you that as well.
Okay.
But I mean, just so we are clear, actually, live migration is not dependent on the integration components. It's not a feature that requires the integration components. We support live migration of guests regardless of what they are.
Great.
So I've got this 2-node cluster. Right now I've got this Red Hat Linux machine which is running on the node called with the last numbers 5N1. I'm going to right click on this node and I'm going to say live migrate to N2. And so there it goes. And the key thing I want you to see is that while this live migration is going on, I can actually interact with the operating system while this live migration is going on.
Fantastic.
That's the thing I want you to make sure that, so we've done our very best to make sure that we do the best for our customers.
Great.